Hello, everybody out there. Excuse me. This is Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. And yes, this is YouTube. And yes, I'm going live. I don't expect many people to come and chat. There's a lot of competitive shows out there today. I'm going live because I've got a tale to tell you that I experienced today. For most of my subscribers that have been following me over the past year and a half, might have heard this story. But then again, the channel's grown and I got to retell this story because it coincides with a ghost story that I found that I happened upon about a decade ago. So before I get into this really crazy story that happened tonight to me, the reason I'm going live is going to intercede what happened to me about a decade ago. And I noticed there's not many people in chat. Hi, Judy Wheeler. Good to see you. So I'm going to pay some bills. Subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob on YouTube. Subscribe to Texas TX apostrophe S Texas Front Porch. We have 4 live shows. Monday, Texas Front Porch, 6:30 Central. Wednesday, Jason McLean and I do Jason McLean Questions Everything. That is at 9 Central. Bigfoot Michigan Rob is on Thursday, noon Central. Jessica Jones, Remote Viewing Investigations, is Friday. That's at 8 Central. So I'm trying to bide a little time. So if people watching this video later, I've got a great story and share this out. And for those of you that watch this today or the next day, please revisit it. So I'm going to tell the story. This story coincides with something that happened to me directly today. Again, it's the only reason I'm going live. I didn't want to do the video. I just want to do this raw. I want to do this unscripted. I don't script my material, but this is me personal for everybody. And I tell you what, I'm kind of at my wit's end with what I'm about to tell you guys. And the story I'm about to tell you happened a decade ago. And what has happened again today about 10 o'clock this evening. About 10, 12 years ago, my brother bought a house in Michigan with his wife, his 2 kids. I'm not going to name names because I don't think they would want me to make this public. Hi, Danny. So I'm going to leave it as my niece, my nephew, my sister-in-law, my brother. 10, 12 years ago, they bought a home, settled in. The kids were about 3 or they were probably, the niece was probably 5, the nephew was probably 7. So throughout this period of time, they lived there for about 3 years. I would go there. I lived it was probably for me a 30-minute ride. So typically I'd go there on the weekends to help clean up around the house. We would sit down, drink some beers, have a barbecue, invite the family over. So at the end of the night, I normally would spend the night. It would be on the weekend. I didn't have to work on Monday. So I say, you know what? I'm not driving home. I'm not going to take any chances. And of course, my brother, sister-in-law, they're cool. I spend the night. About a month into spending the night over there on the weekends, I would sit in. They had about a four-bedroom home, and the room, one of the rooms that I used to sleep in, it was dark. It was shaded off. It was pitch black in the room. I'd be laying in bed at night. The door would open at night around when I tell this story, the door opened like 2 times a night. Once right around midnight and once right around 3 o'clock in the morning. My door the door of the bedroom I was staying in would open right around midnight, and I would see this little shadow figure. It appeared to be a little girl with long hair. My niece was a little girl at the time with long hair. She had long blonde hair. So I would open the door, I would look, I would yell out to my niece, "Hey, what's going on?" This was the first time, and the door closed. So, of course, you guys, I'm thinking nothing of it. I fall asleep, get up, go about my business, and go home. A second time, spending the night, my door of my bedroom, about 3 o'clock in the morning, this time opens up again. A figure of a little girl, long hair, 4 foot tall, whatever, is peering into the room. Now, of course, I say it looks like a shadow. It's dark. The hallway light is off. I can't see a face. It's a shadow. I'm thinking again, it's my niece. I yell out my niece's name. Hey, what are you doing? You want to come sleep with Uncle Robbie or you want to chit chat? The door shuts. Again, you guys, I fall asleep. I think nothing of it. I'm just wondering to myself, and my little niece, I'm gonna get her. She's playing games with Uncle Robbie. I'm gonna catch her one time. I'm gonna catch her. About 2 months go by. I spend the night at my brother's house. Now the door opens again. Again, it's between midnight and 3 in the morning. I see the shadow of this little girl. Looks like my niece. Again, it's a shadow. The door shuts. I am prepared this time because I'm thinking and I'm expecting this is going to happen. I jump out of my bed and I race down the hall towards where her bedroom is. Now, from my bedroom to her bedroom is probably 60 feet, 70 feet. It's a distance. It was quite a nice, expansive house that my brother purchased. So there was a lot of room. It was spacious. I run down the hall. I get to her bedroom door. I open the door and and me out of just sheer excitement said, I got you. So I didn't get her for anything because tucked into her bed was my niece. She was tucked in so tightly and asleep that there was no way she could have ran down the hall from my bedroom to her bedroom. She's like 5 years old, you guys. There's no way she could have precisely tucked her in like she was like sewn in. And her mom's a great mom. She tucked her in bed every night. This was a classic tuck in job. She's sound asleep. I had thought, what is going on here? I remember now this happened to me 3 times, and now I see her on the 3rd time, sound asleep, so I'm thinking, "She's not pulling any prank." Number 1, she's 5. Number 2, she could not have made it down the hallway that fast. She didn't have the skills, the motor skills, right, to tuck her in like that. It was done by her mom. So now I begin to wonder, what in the heck have I been seeing these last 3 nights? I'm starting to think, is this some ghost, some apparition, some shadow person? I I have no idea. So I keep this to myself because, in my family, I'm the weird one. I've seen Bigfoot. Of course, I saw Bigfoot 4 years ago. This happened to me a decade ago, but I had not brought up this story until recently. My niece, my nephew, they watch Bigfoot Michigan Rob channel. They watch Texas Front Porch. They think it's cool that Uncle Robbie's on TV. And they're in their 20s now. So dating back again to this apparition that I saw, we're sitting around Thanksgiving time. My brother, my sister, they have a big party. And I mentioned something about ghosts. Just to talk about ghosts, just to, to liven up Thanksgiving dinner, right? Sometimes people talk about boring things. They talk politics. They talk about, the prices of gas, you know. And I'm the type of guy that, you know, after I watch my football, I'm ready to talk some ghost stories. Let's talk some creepy. So on that particular Thanksgiving, everything was like shush and hush. Next weekend, I go back to the house, my brother's house, and my mom happened to be there. So we're talking. I said, "How come you guys clammed up over Thanksgiving?" Nah, Rob, we just don't want to talk ghosts, talk this or that. So my mother has says that, you know, to my brother and sister, I've had the strangest dreams the last couple of years because my mom would also spend the night at my brother and sister's house. She's the grandma of the grandchildren, and she lived far away. She was older. She didn't like to drive at night. So she would spend the night as well. So she happens to say that, yeah, Lauren had, oh God, I just said my niece's name. Lauren says that she visits me at night, but always shuts the door, always closes the door. She won't come in and see grandma. And she just thought that was so strange because the next day she'd always get my niece and say, "Hey, did you come in grandma's room last night?" My niece would say, "No, grandma, I never came in your room. I've been sleeping." So upon telling this tale to my brother and sister-in-law while I'm present, because now the same thing has happened to me, my brother and sister-in-law look at each other perplexed. Something is cast upon their face. And good old Bigfoot Mr. Rob had to say, "What's going on here?" Rob, mom, my niece talks to people in her playroom. In my brother and his sister's home, they had a 4-bedroom home, the big kitchen, an expansive living room, a den, and they also had a playroom for my niece. My sister in law would always peer in on my niece, and they had glass doors. So it was kind of those doors you slide open, and she could see her sitting in her playroom. And she had her dolls, she had the Barbies, she had all the things a typical young girl at 5 years old would have. And she would see my niece always being animated and talking straight ahead into the closet. I mean, her diction, my sister-in-law would go up to the door and kinda hide and listen to her speak with eloquent diction. At 5 years old, she could talk pretty well, but this was, like, straight on the money speaking. Every syllable, every word was pronounced perfectly. She didn't really speak like that talking to her mom or dad or even myself. It was perfect English. So one day, my sister-in-law, she opens the door to sliding doors, goes into the room and says, "Hey, honey, who are you talking to?" My niece says, "My new play friend, Jenny." My sister-in-law says, "Well, where's Jenny?" She goes, "Mom, Jenny's gone. Jenny took off when you came in the room." My sister-in-law says, "Okay," talks to her a little bit. She goes back, doesn't even make mention of it to my brother or anything of that nature, but just kind of like me when I fell asleep and seeing the ghost or I saw the shadow person thinking it was my niece, she kind of forgot about it, kind of like I did. A couple of weeks later, my niece, once again, is all animated, talking into the closet. My sister in law opens the door, comes in. Now, my niece this time says, "Mom, every time you come in here, Jenny, my friend Jenny, does not like people. She does not like grown-ups." My sister is like, what are you talking about, honey? Mom, okay, and this is my niece now. Mom, I gotta tell you something. Jenny, she's about my age, long long hair like me, but she's dark skinned. I can see her clearly. When you come in, she disappears, but she's told me some horrible stories. And my sister-in-law's like, "Well, what do you mean horrible stories?" She goes, "Yes." She proceeds to tell my sister that in-law, I call her sister, sorry guys, proceeds to tell her that she doesn't like grown-ups because they came through her village and killed everybody. In fact, her friend Jenny's words were, "The white man killed the brown and red man and burnt the village to the ground." That's why, mom, when you come in to my bedroom, she disappears. In fact, Jenny asked me not to tell anybody. Now my niece feels guilty about this. Now, on the outset of this, you guys, now my sister gets with my brother, and she's wondering, is our daughter losing it? I mean, do we have to take her to a psychologist? What's going on? And my brother's like, well, no, our daughter's not crazy. I have to look into this. I have to investigate. And that's how exactly how my brother is. And that's how I am too. My brother does some investigation on this land here in Michigan. He pulls up records that in this area where his house is built, was built, because they have since moved out. I will say that up front. They're gone. That was for a indigenous people lived there, First Nations people lived there, and there was a massacre on that property. There was a number, I don't know the exact number, you guys, but hundreds of First Nations people, indigenous people were slaughtered by, as my niece said, what Jenny told her, men on horses wearing hats. So if you go back, she said brown people, reddish people, men on horses wearing hats. That has to be go back to, you know, when we were kids playing cowboys and Indians, right? Which is what kind of my siblings thought, cowboys and Indians. But when my brother looked it up, it was a true story that actually happened on that property. So they move out. I mean, they move out. Now they think the place is haunted. They don't want the daughter, my niece, going through any more of this. And they leave. They buy a new house. We have a new house built, whatever, where they currently live today. Now, in this section of Michigan, this subdivision where my brother and sister and their kids moved from, slowly over the years, it's become like a little ghost subdivision. You can't sell your house there. You can buy these houses back in the day were going for maybe $200,000. You could probably buy it today for about 75 grand. People can't sell the property. They don't want to move in there. There's disclosure realtors. They tell them the story today. Very creepy and very real. We've all heard these stories. But here's where this story really gets interesting because, as I made mention earlier, for those of you joining late or listening late when this gets replayed, when I put this out on YouTube, the the things that have happened here started decades ago, and I seen this decades ago. I see decade ago, 10 decades. Excuse me, you guys, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Here's the thing. Today, about 10 o'clock at night, see, I've been sleeping a lot lately, falling asleep in the chair. I don't know what it is. I have to see the doctor. I'm just very lethargic of late, so I've been sleeping quite a bit, probably just overworking. And what I mean about today, this happened 10 years ago. This has now happened to me just today. As of May 1st, 10 p.m., I'm sleeping in my bedroom. It's dark in my bedroom today, you guys. Today, this happened. And I normally don't shut my bedroom door. Today, I shut it. I just wanted to go to sleep. Today, you guys, my door opened, and I thought that perhaps it didn't get the latch didn't close. You know, sometimes where you shut your door, it'll open because it hasn't fully gotten into the socket, so it's shut. So I was thinking that, oh, it just kind of opened up. And so I get out of bed. It is open about 3, 4 inches. I go to the door and I shut the door. And now I hear the class, boom, it's shut. Go back to my room. I lay down. But I was kind of wondering, man, I was kind of, I don't know. I don't creep easily, you guys, but I felt kind of uneasy about this. And this is the reason why this is what I meant to say. This is why I'm doing this video or this live show is because I just had to tell you guys this because it just got to me tonight. So I shut the door, it's locked. I go lay back down. 20 minutes later, the door opens. And the door opens about 3 feet wide, and I can see directly down from my bed to the door jamb into the hallway at a little light on. I see a shadow. But the shadow that I saw, I know you guys are thinking is probably the shadow of the 4 foot niece that I saw a decade ago. This shadow was a person, a girl, long hair, but not 4 foot tall. It was a grown person, a grown woman, probably in her late teens, early 20s. 5 foot, a shadow. I look at you guys, I had chills. And the thing that scared me the most, I get out of bed. I'm not even thinking it's my niece that came over to visit and let herself in my house because she don't have a key to get in. I run toward the door and my door shut slammed right on me today. And when I went to the door to open it with my hand on the knob, I turn it and it wouldn't open for about 3, 4 seconds. It was stuck. And I'm pulling on this door today. I get it open. I look down the hall. There's nobody there. I go downstairs to the back door. The door is locked. The front door was locked. There was no traces of invasion into my home or nothing. And what I tell you tonight, I saw clear as a day is the sky is blue. It was a shadow. And I'm thinking, see, here's the thing that I'm thinking, and this is where I need help with because if you're a ghost or if you're an apparition, an entity of some sort, I always believe that you're trapped in that same physical. I mean, it's not physical, but are you not trapped in that same element? So, in other words, my thinking was this is the little girl from a decade ago, now fully grown, that paid me a visit since I've seen her so many times. So, my thing is this, was that her grown up? But ghosts don't grow up, spirits don't grow up. So that's why I'm having troubles. And that's why I'm doing this show tonight because I have no idea what's going on here. I don't want to go to sleep. Don't get me wrong. I'm not scared, but I just don't know what I saw tonight. I told you that long story, and it was the prelude to what happened to me tonight. Did I see Jenny as an adult? Is that even possible? Did I manifest this? What happened? I don't know. I don't know. I tell you this though, I'm going to be up all night thinking about this, and probably tomorrow night when I go to bed, I'm going to wonder if I'm going to get paid another visit. Thanks for joining me. Hey, Judy, my flock, Sandra Piper. Who else do I see in here? Danny, Sharon. Not too many. There's about 10 of you guys. Hi, Sharon, Guy. Again, there's a few of you. I don't know who's not too many. Again, I didn't expect anybody to be in here, but I had to get on tonight, you guys. I had to tell this because I don't know what's going on with this. And no, I'm not scared. You guys don't have to worry about me, but I felt, it's 12:31 in the morning here. This happened to me about 10. I just wanted to share it with you guys. I figured some of you guys will be up. And of course, this video will be posted tomorrow morning. In your comments, I'm not a ghost hunter, you guys. Anybody have any ideas? Leave it in the comments. What do I need to do? Should I just forget about it, or or does or should I just see what happens? Thank you very much. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I did not expect it. Again, subscribe to Brunch with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, which is basically Bigfoot, Michigan Rob, Texas Front Porch, and share this video out. Share my channel out. I love you guys. I'm not going to bed tonight, but I'm not going to sit here and just ramble on because that does get boring too. That does get boring, trust me. So I'm good. Thank you. You guys have a great night. Be safe. Hope you enjoyed the story. And I'll talk to you. Today's what, Sunday? Yeah, you'll see me on Thursday, Brunch with Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. We got a great a great show in store for you then. I'm already fumbling my words. I must be getting tired. God bless. BMR's out.